In this video, I want to share with you exactly what I did to be able to instantly double my trading results and completely flick a switch in my mindset to be able to become consistently profitable. So let's get into it. Now, if you're just getting started with trading, you may come back and think about these principles at a later date. But if you've already started trading, we need to start to assess the reasons why you're not having the best results. And that's going to be because you're just making consistent trading errors, emotional decisions, lack of discipline, lack of self-awareness, and no patience, right? So you can reflect upon your journal or your trades or your past performance to be able to see why you're not doing so well. And the connection I really want you to be able to understand here is that you making these trading errors of the emotional decisions, the lack of discipline, of all of this comes primarily from a couple of things: lack of self-awareness and discipline. Discipline to be able to follow your plan. And I'm going to hit you with a harsh truth now, but the reason that you are consistently making these trading errors over and over and over again is because who you are on the charts is who you are off the charts. So in my mind, when I wasn't profitable, when I wasn't successful, and I kept doing the wrong thing consistently, it's because I was letting other areas of my life slip and I wasn't being disciplined and focused in those other areas, which then correlated to my trading results. So we need to start to understand here, lads, that a healthy body is going to give you a healthy mind. And in trading, there's so many things that you can't control. So what we need to do is we need to take a step back from that and we need to start to focus on what we can control so that it can correlate into our skills of being a better trader. First thing that I want to share with you is that you need to start to think about taking upon a challenge. Now, the reason for this is because a lot of us may have done some hard things in the past. Maybe you've done a challenge or trained for something, or you've had to be disciplined in your life. And what happens is if you snap out of that state, you start to forget what real discipline and doing what you don't want to do feels like. And if you keep letting yourself slip and not following rigid rules and a routine, for example, if you want to follow a diet, and you just keep letting yourself slip, have a cheap meal here or go out drinking with your friends or whatever it is, just these little things, that is exactly what is happening within your trading. It's like you follow your rules 98% of your times, but just that one time you're like, oh, now this trade's going to work out, and I move my stop loss, and then that moving stop loss ends up accumulating in a big loss, and then that's the switch that ends up blowing your account, and you have to start all over again after being depressed and feeling like, fuck trading, I want to give up on this shit. So you need to start to think about, hey, these little errors and these little moments that you just slip, you only have to make the mistake once, and that mistake can be what is still making you and holding you back from being a consistently profitable trader. So my challenge for you is that you really start to understand that anyone can be profitable for 1 to 3 months, but you need to think about how you can be profitable for 1 to 3 years. And you're only going to be able to do that if you start to develop the right type of habits that a consistently successful trader has. And that's controlling what you can control, okay? So like I mentioned before, you need to start to retrain your discipline muscle. I recently did 75 hard. I'll pop up on screen my before and after for that. And that just completely flipped a switch in my mind and helped me really understand that, you do forget, your brain does forget how to be disciplined. And I didn't think about my lack of discipline in maybe my diet or my training or exercise, how that could be significantly affecting my trading results. And I'll admit, my trading results were lacking. I was slacking, I was not doing as well as I once had. I kind of let myself fall through on a couple of things with trading, diet, exercise, and that correlated to my results on the charts. And then I just flipped a switch and I said, I'm going to take on a challenge. I'm going to retrain my brain to be disciplined. And then the results from that have been exponential. So that's why I'm saying to you guys, I'd really encourage you to be able to take on a challenge, because your brain has forgotten how to be disciplined and you need to be able to catch yourself in that moment. It's a test. Just like, should I follow my rules? Should I put this lot size on? Should I be able to stick with my trading plan? Is the exact same situation when you're emotional, it's in the moment, and you need to be able to catch yourself in those moments. Just like when you're out with your friends, you have the decision to be able to stick with your diet or not drink alcohol, whatever it is, you need to be able to catch yourself when the emotions are high and when the temptations are actually there. It's the exact same context here when you're on the charts and when you're off the charts, okay? So hopefully you start to make that connection here. That's just personally what I did, but I encourage you to look in, maybe train for a marathon, train for your first fight, like do something, do 75 hard, whatever it's going to be. Take on a challenge for the next 2 months at a minimum, the next 60 days to 90 days, and do something that's going to help you that you don't actually want to do. Like take on a challenge, do something hard, okay? And you'll see the results in your trading. So there's a couple other key principles that I feel like have significantly benefited my trading. Obviously, when I went through 75 hard, I did a lot of study into sleep, exercise, and nutrition, and I want to be able to share that with you of what I've discovered that's actually helped me understand it. So look, I'm just sharing this from my perspective as to what I personally believe around these different topics. You can take it as you will, but personally, when it comes to exercise, just going to the gym is fun, but what I would focus on doing is focus on developing a skill set. Now, my personal opinion is that for guys, like, it's good to be like big and also dangerous. Just being like a massive bodybuilder can still get knocked out by a guy that looks like anorexic but is a professional fighter. Okay, so you need to have a combination of both. And I personally think it's great to be able to develop a skill set, get strong, get big, and be dangerous, So this also really helps with your stress management. I personally like to do exercise in the morning before I'm jumping onto the charts. It helps me manage my stress, helps me be a little bit more clear, and obviously just deal with the pressure of such a high, like an intense and a high stress environment that is day trading. You're constantly having to make decisions. So if you guys aren't doing exercise in the morning before the charts, or if you're jumping straight onto the charts, I feel like that can, I guess, cause you to be a little bit more impulsive. Take some time in the morning to be able to get that done, get that out of the way, and you could be calm, relaxed, your stress will be lower, and you'll be able to think clearly and make better decisions. So tip number one is going to be about doing exercise. I shouldn't have to sell you on that benefits. You should already be doing that, but that's just personally my outlook and my approach to it. I want to be big, I want to be dangerous, and I want to do this to be able to manage my stress in the morning before I jump on the charts and before I'm actually doing my trading. So that's tip number one for me. The next one that we're going to look at is nutrition. So trading, you may not think that nutrition correlates to trading at all, but it really does. You shouldn't be sacrificing your health for anything. Again, it's just a principle of beginning with the end in mind. Now, a couple of questions that I have for you is that, do you have brain fog all the time? Can you think clearly? Are you hungry all the time? Like, do you wake up in the nights and you're like hungry and starving? And I'd really just encourage you to think about like the food that you're eating, because a lot of people are like inflamed. You can look more into this, and I'll pop up a couple of books. One book that I read that was really good is called How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy by Paul Chek. He's like the father of fucking biohacking before all these guys. So look into that. Some really, really good tools in that book. Now, you may be thinking, what does my diet and nutrition have anything to do with trading? And what I want for you guys is to be healthy and wealthy and wise, right? Like, I want you to live as long as possible. And the modern diet and the foods that are pushed by mainstream society are causing all these disease and infections and cancer within our lives. If you think I'm talking crazy right now, do your own research into it, but I just encourage you guys to think about what nutrition and what fuel that you're putting into your body. I personally follow a animal-based diet, and I can say that ever since switching to that, eating primarily animal products and fruit, a little bit of white rice as well, and sweet potatoes, that significantly improved my health. I barely get sick anymore. I'm always thinking clearly. I'm never like crazy with my emotions. My stomach and my gut health has improved significantly. And I would just really encourage you to look into two guys. I think it's Carnivorous Aurelius and Carnivore MD. I'll pop their Instagrams on screen. And so you're gonna get a lot of stuff out of these guys. Just take my advice for it, follow what they say, test it out, do an experiment with it. Don't be so fixed in your ways. If you're like vegan or vegetarian or whatever, you're probably not watching this video anyways. But yeah, I definitely recommend that you take some time to think about that type of stuff, okay? And tip number 3 is gonna be about sleep. Now, sleep is so significant when you are learning about trading, is because if you wake up tired, if you wake up emotional, again, you're not going to be thinking clearly. If you take a loss, it could significantly impact you, and then that can lead to a string of losses. So hopefully you guys kind of understand what I'm getting at here, right? Just to backtrack a little bit, like, we're talking about exercise, nutrition, and sleep, and it's because these underlying things, these fundamentals, can actually affect what we're doing on the charts. If we're eating bad food, so we have brain fog, and then we're not sleeping well, and then we're not doing any exercise, like, we're legitimately operating out of this like derp state. We open our laptop, like we're like fucked, and then we try to do our analysis on the charts. We make stupid emotional decisions. That is exactly why we're not getting the results that we want from our trading, right? So we need to start addressing this stuff. Sleep is so important here. So I want you guys to start to think about the purpose of sleep is to not wake up tired. So if you're waking up tired every single day, you need to start to think about, what the fuck am I even going to bed for? Like, what is happening? Why am I waking up tired every single day? The purpose of sleep is to not wake up tired. And I heard Luke Belmar talk about this, and I was like, you know what? Like, he's fucking right. So I'm gonna pop up a couple of things on screen from a tweet that he put out that you guys can look into and do some investigating into. But if you're struggling with your sleep right now, the biggest things that I feel like have helped me is go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day. Don't eat like 2 hours before you go to bed. Make sure that you are getting good exercise throughout the day, sunlight in the morning, and don't have your phone at least 1 hour before bed. And really, when you're going to sleep at night, make sure that you don't have you put night shift on your phone so that you don't have these blue lights flashing into your eyes. Change out some of the globes or wear blue blocking glasses at night time, and really start to have a consistent routine with that, where you're not doing work late at night and then trying to sleep directly after that. And to bring things full circle here, it's like the yin and the yang. You know how it's like one connected together, how your sleep, exercise, and nutrition is connected to your performance on the charts. I can guarantee you that if you start to implement and you take upon this challenge for yourself, and you start to really look into your sleep, exercise, and nutrition, you're gonna get that increased level of respect for yourself. You're gonna respect yourself more, and obviously others will respect you more as you start getting bigger, as you start learning about martial arts and becoming big and dangerous, and focus on developing these skill sets. Can't recommend that enough. You're gonna have increased level of confidence, discipline, and you're gonna be developing an iron mind. And this is all about starting with what you can control, all right? Because who you are on the charts is who you are off the charts. And your results and your performance in trading is a direct reflection of your personal life and your personal circumstances. So hopefully you can start to make that correlation now. Obviously the challenges that I've laid out is very clear. You need to take on a challenge for yourself. Think about that. You want to train for a marathon, train for a fight, do 75 hard, do something for at least 2 months that's going to help snap you out of this dope state that you're in, and help you learn how to be disciplined again in your life, so that you can use that in your trading results, okay? Because I can guarantee if you're on and off and wishy-washy, you're not gonna make it, bro. Like, you need to be focused, you need to be dialed in, you need to be trading in the zone, right? So get yourself so that you're in the zone in your life and you feel dialed in, and then your results are gonna skyrocket. That's it for another video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did get value out of it, like and subscribe. This is video number 5 of the Get Profitable or Die Trying series. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.